Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about UFC Vegas 88. It's fight night, but they call it Vegas 88. So they get numbers just like the normal pay-per-view cards. But this is obviously one of those free cards. It'll be on Saturday. Everybody will be able to watch it with me on the Discord server. Come join the Discord server, be an MVP, and you'll get to see my analysis on the fights. I'll explain to you guys what we're doing, provide a ton of live bets and props and all that other stuff. But like every single fight card, I make the first fight video free. And that's what this one is. So I'll be providing free analysis for the first fight in the first matchup. But if you want to know who's going to win every single fight on the card, become an MVP. And when I say you want to know who's going to win, I'm not just talking out of my neck. I'm not just talking crazy. If you're not an MVP, you need to know what you're missing. So I'll show you the last two fight cards. This is last week. That's right. We only missed on 2 fights. We hit 7-7 parlays. And we got pretty much everything right. What you need to understand is when you see white text on the card, that means it was a lock, meaning, hey, put your money where your mouth is. These are locks. If you see purple text, that was a value bet. So if you're paying attention, on the season, we are 30-8 on locks. Some of these locks are, yes, minus 1,000s. You can't miss them. I get it. But if you parlay and you do really well, you'll be in the positive. Another thing here is the leans. They're at 77.4%. We're 24-7 on leans. Those are your coin flips. And that's in a coin flip. If I pick the favorite, that's where we're at right now. We're way up. Okay. And then we got the value bets. Anytime I pick an underdog, we're still above 50%. Yes, we're 14-12. It is hard. Sometimes I pick underdogs that don't really have a chance to win, but mathematically it makes sense to go with them. And even if you took all the value bets and nothing else, you'd still be up in units because they're always plus 100 or more. In this fight card here, we hit 3 out of 4 value bets. You see it, plus 164 on Dustin Poirier, plus 112 on MVP, and plus 176 Joanne Wood to open up the card. Those are really hard calls. Those are very difficult calls to make because this isn't basketball. This isn't football. You're not picking an underdog to cover the spread. There's no spread. You're taking an underdog to win the money line. It's so impossible. And picking UFC fights is so volatile because whatever you pick, it can be changed in an instant. It can be changed in one punch. And so far, given our luck, we've been right. So this is last week's card, went 12-2. And yes, the night before that, the card before that, we went a whopping 11-0. Missed on every parlay and prop. We're just missing everywhere on those for this particular card. But if you were an MVP, and MVPs make up their own parlays, MVPs make up their own props, they can do their own thing. You take the analysis from each fight and you mix and match it and you do what you want to do. And that's how you win. We got MVPs turning $10 into $1,600. We had a guy turn $15 into $900. Like, they're doing whatever they do with these picks. You can't go wrong. You can't miss, right? So I keep saying we, but it's just me. I'm the only one who makes the picks. I'm the one who does the analysis. So here we are, UFC Vegas 88. If you're not an MVP, get to the Patreon, get to the YouTube, become an MVP, and you'll see the analysis of each fight. But we're going to talk about the first fight of the night. You will see me break down this chart, and by popular demand, I'm going to explain something to you guys. Somebody reached out to me. One of the MVPs said, hey, Rico, can you break down every single fight in one video? I see you make a bunch of different videos for every fight. Can you make one video? And I will do that after. I will do that after I make individual videos for each fight, so you guys can digest each fight individually. At the end of all this, once the chart is completely filled out, with all the different props and parlays in the blanks here, once everything is filled out, the color scheme, everything, I will make a final video summarizing everything and all the bets. I will make sure my name is over my picture like that. I will do whatever it takes. I will make sure you guys understand what we're doing here, but I'm still going to break down the fights individually in these videos. This is very time consuming. I know. It takes a while for you guys to watch them. It takes a while for me to make them, buddy. I have to do this for the next 2 days to make sure I'm accurate, but it's worth it. If you care about your money, sit down, take notes, watch the videos. It's important, okay, because I'm not missing. It's not a bad analysis ever. Yes, we miss from time to time, but it's not my fault. It's the fighter's fault. That's how I feel. And if you keep that mindset, you'll be successful. So let's talk about this first fight here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys here. We have, I want to say it right, Charalampos Grigoriou, right? Charalampos Grigoriou. They don't have a picture of him, but he's from Cyprus. That's the country he's from. And he's fighting Chad Anheliger. He's from Canada. And we don't like Canadian fighters. They don't scrap, bro. Canadian fighters apologize before they get in the cage, and they're always apologetic, and they make mistakes everywhere. I've never seen a Canadian fighter take anybody's lunch money. That's real. Canadian fighters are weak. Now, that being said, both these guys, we got Grigoriou, he's 31. Anheliger's 37. He's towards the end of his career. And when I say the end of his career, this is the last fight on his UFC contract. If he loses this, his UFC career is over. And he's lost 2 fights in a row. He knows he needs to win. Another thing, he's a little chubby. He knows he can fight at 125. If he were to cut weight, he can make it at 125. And he doesn't. He just wants to fight at 135 where he feels healthy and safe. But this is a little dude with big shorts. He looks bad, man. He looks bad. I'm just letting you know. And if you look in here, Grigoriou is known for amazing kicks. So if you want to fade this, fade it. Okay? Because I'm not taking this man. I'm not taking this man who's on a 4-fight win streak, knocking everybody out. You see him just going through people. But ever since he went against Christian Rodriguez, who's later on this card, Christian Rodriguez famously won a fight he wasn't supposed to win, knocked off a freight train of hype, a hype machine. And now Christian Rodriguez is known as this guy who just beats the hype machines. But here he is. He did the same thing here. He beat this man, and then Grigoriou just keeps going, and he's got the best kicks you're going to see on the card. He can kick, and kick again. I get it. I like him. He's full of knockouts. Pick him if you want. That's fine. Go do it. Go chalk and take him MVPs if that's the way you want to do it. But I'm telling you, mathematically, and it's just the way it works for me. It's just the way I am, y'all. I got to take the Canadian I can't stand. I got to take this young man because I don't think that he should be a plus 136 underdog. That's it. It's just out of principle. And oftentimes that'll have you miss. But in my case, it's had us hit a couple of times. I feel like this young man is just better at winning rounds. He's a grappler. He's better on the mat. He'll tap you out. He'll submit you. Now, yes, he was submitted recently to a pretty good Dominican kid. I forget his name, Johnson. So let me pull this back up. I'm going to show you guys something. Anheliger here he lost to Jose Johnson. Got it. Submitted. And then he lost in unanimous decision to a Chinaman. Got it. Trust me when I say this is the most impressive thing you will see on any of these guys' records right here. Beating Gurov, beating Highstand, and beating Strader. I can't imagine what's going on here. I don't understand how he lost. The fact that he just lost in November and he's fighting again is impressive to me. They got him back on the card immediately. They want to see him fight, either get his contract over or see if he can win and get it done. I'm going to tell you, he's never been knocked out. He's been subbed, but he's never been knocked out. And this is what he does. Charlo's here. Charlotte, he knocks people out. But you're not knocking out this kid, man. You're not knocking out Anheliger. I think once he gets into the second and third round, he starts winning because he's healthy, he's fat, he's hungry, and he knows how to grapple. He really does. Yes, he's been tapped. But I promise you guys, there's just something about this kid that lets me think he's going to be tough. Look, let me explain. I feel like Grigoriou's beat nobody. Do you need to see the caliber of fighter this man has beaten? Usually when you pick on their wins in the regional scene, their wins are against people who have never lost, like never won a fight. He beat a guy 18-6. He beat a guy 8-2. He's beating guys. Now these guys have never fought. He's beating 7-3, Jesse Strader. He's beaten quality opponents. And yes, he has 2 losses in a row, and he's about to be out of the UFC and all this. I'm just going, man. I don't trust. I don't trust it, man. So I'm Rico Knows. I sit down, I analyze fighters, I analyze their careers, I analyze their trends, and I'm telling you, we have a classic striker versus a grappler. And yes, Grigoriou here is a kicking fancy dude, and he might just run right through Anheliger and end it, right? He might just run right through him and end the fight early. I don't see it like that, though. I'm looking at a kid, an Anheliger, this Canadian dude, has never been knocked out and never been finished like that. Never. Yeah, he gets beat in submissions. He gets beat, but this guy's not a threat to submit. I I'm going to go with the Canadian and say he wins 2 rounds and it goes to decision, or he actually wins by submission. But I like the Canadian in this. He might look hapless. He might not bring anything on the feet. This man does throw some heat. So this is a value bet. And Rico knows I can afford to miss. I'm not prepared to, though. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Good luck, y'all.